Good morning, students. Hope you people are fine and taking good care of yourself. I, Miss Bharti Sharma, is here again to give you some knowledge about your next chapter, chapter number 2. And before starting up the chapter, let me ask you something. All of you must have heard about the names the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Yes, you are right. These are the two epic poems of India composed in Sanskrit. Now let's talk in brief about the Mahabharata, from which the present story is adapted. The story tells us about the struggle for supremacy between two groups of cousins, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The sage Vyasa, who lived in the 5th century, is believed to be the author of the Mahabharata. So, in chapter 2, the Pandavas' last year in exile, we will read what happened just before the exile ended. Let's begin. As the Pandavas were given 13 years of exile, out of which the last year to be spent in disguise means to hide their original identity. Now, here question arises why they were given this exile. Yes, they were given this exile after losing the game of dice to their cousin Prince Duryodhana, and as per the terms of the game, they had to spend last year of exile in disguise. But if they are caught during this disguise period, they would have to spend another 12 years in exile. This was the another condition. Now, to spend their last year of exile in disguise, these Pandavas chose the kingdom of Virata to spend their last year of exile. And before entering the kingdom, all of them changed their names, put on different disguises, secured different posts in the service of the kingdom. Yudhishthira, the eldest brother, who was well versed in scriptures, rules of court, skills of dice, became the king's advisor, and he named himself as Kanka. Second brother, Bhima, who was fond of food, decided to be the cook, and he became the head cook of the palace, and he named himself as Ballava. Third brother, Arjuna, decided to be a dance and music teacher for king's daughter Princess Uttara, and he named himself as Prinala. Fourth brother, Nakula, who was expert in the training and treatment of horses, became the caretaker and guard of the horse stable, and he named himself as Kranthe. Fifth brother, Sahadeva, started looking after the cattle well, and he named himself as Thantipa. And the wife of these 5 Pandavas, Draupadi, became the chief maid-servant of the queen and named herself as Sarnadhari. This is how they started living in the kingdom, hoping that no one will identify them. In the meanwhile, Duryodhana and his aides encroached upon the Viratas' kingdom and stole their cattle. After learning about this, the king sent his son, the crown prince Uttar Kumar, to fight the Kaurava army. Arjuna sought for the permission from the king to go with the prince as his charioteer. They both went to confront the army of Kauravas. When they reached the fighting field, Uttar Kumar got frightened after seeing the huge and powerful Kauravas army, and he tried to flee in fear. And at this point, Arjuna gave his true identity and fought against the Kauravas. Arjuna single-handedly defeated them and brought back the cattle. By this time, the exile was over. Pandavas revealed their identity to the king. King was pleased and happy with the events which took place in that period of time. And they went back to their kingdom happily. Thank you, students, and hope you have understood the chapter. Bye-bye. Happy learning.